We are live. Welcome, folks. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Vote TV Primetime Show. I'm your host, Nelson Mike Pedal Marioki, and I'm happy to see you again. Hope you guys are safe. You're doing fine. You're doing great. Not even fine. You're doing great. Hope you're doing great, whatever you are. And today I'm doing something special on this segment. And this is something that I actually spoke about when Trump was still president. This is something that I spoke about when Trump was still president. And it was about the US government banning the TikTok app. When Trump was president, I came here, we had that discussion, and I gave you my opinion, and I said, hey, look, this is about data, this is about USA versus China, this is, China is America's nemesis. That's a fact. That's a fact. China and USA, they don't like each other. That's a fact. And when Trump was president, he said, I'm going to ban TikTok, which is currently the most downloaded social media app. TikTok, the thought of the American government banning TikTok. So today, on this segment, we're going to look at the specifics of why America is banning TikTok and what the American Senate has said. Get ready, get a cup of coffee. We're going to dig into this in 10 seconds. So welcome back, folks. Welcome to Vote TV. And remember that today's broadcast is live streaming here on Vote TV YouTube channel, on the Nelson Mike Podcast YouTube channel, and also on Twitter at Vote Television. We're going to look at this article by, it's on CNBC right here. And you can just have a look at, let's start with the headline right here. Lawmakers unveil bipartisan bill that aims to ban TikTok in the USA. This is the American Senate, ladies and gentlemen. This is the American Senate. And this bill is bipartisan. So what does that mean? That means the Republicans and the Democrats have gone through, they've drafted this bill, they've gone through the specifics of the bill, what they want, and they've agreed. They've come to a compromise, they've agreed, and they've said this is exactly what we want to pass. So it's a bipartisan bill. It's not just it's not a bill that is drafted by the Republicans only, and only the Republicans are agreeing on it. It's not, and vice versa. But this is a bill that both the Republicans and Democrats agree on the specifics of this bill. Okay. So the article continues, says here, a new bill from a bipartisan group of lawmakers will ban TikTok in the USA. A new bill from a bipartisan group of lawmakers will ban TikTok in the USA. Then the article continues, the bill comes after years of broad concern across the Trump and Biden administrations about potential Chinese government influence on the company. You see right here? Let me actually underscore that. Let me highlight that. Chinese government influence. And then it says that TikTok has insisted US data is safely stored outside of China, which it says should keep it out of reach of government officials. So the data that is collected, so all the TikTok users here in the USA, all the data that is collected is not stored in the USA. It's stored outside USA. And that is China. And so the company ByteDance, which is a company that owns TikTok, they say, hey, we have the data, but it's safely stored out of reach of government officials in China. By the way, this is the U.S. Senator Mark Rubio. He's Republican, and he's one of the major, the major senators who came up with this bill and who introduced it to the Senate. Let's continue. A new bill from a bipartisan group of lawmakers, if passed, will ban TikTok in the US. After years of broad concern across the Trump and Biden administrations about potential Chinese government influence on the company. Social media stocks, including Meta and Snap, were positive Tuesday when the news broke. The Meta shares were up more than 6%, and Snap was up more than 3% as of late morning. So Meta, that's Facebook. Okay, folks? People talk about Facebook. No, it's not Facebook, it's Metaverse. So, you see, just look at the shift of the market shares. The shift on the market. Soon as they said, hey, TikTok, probably could be banned here in the USA, the social media stocks for these two companies, for Meta and Snapchat, poof, went up, all the way up. The Meta shares were up more than 6%, and Snap was up more than 3% as of late morning. So, TikTok, which is owned by Chinese company ByteDance, has raised fears in the US that Chinese government officials could gain access to US user data. Under Chinese law, that could compel the company to hand over information. TikTok has insisted US user data is safely stored outside of China, which it says should keep it out of reach of government officials. It's about data. See, this is 2022. Data is the new gold. Data is the new oil in 2022. If you don't know, then I don't know where you've been living. Everything right now is about data. Everything is about data. And again, US and China, these two countries, they don't like each other. And if you have data, then you have control. See where I'm coming from? And that's what US is trying to avoid. Like, hey, see, America is a country that has a population of 327 million people. Okay? Let's say 60% of American citizens are on TikTok right now. Okay? That's a lot of data. And this data is not stored in America because TikTok is not an American company. And I'm gonna add a couple of other points after reading this article. So here we are. And it's okay, here we are. But the company's reassurances have done little to turn down the heat on TikTok. The Committee on Foreign Investment in the US is in talks with the company about how to resolve some of the data concerns. So everything is about data. Even the FBI director, Christopher Wray, testified before the Congress recently that he's extremely concerned about the Chinese government's potential influence through TikTok on US users. This is something major, folks. They're not taking this lightly. The new bill introduced by Senator Marco Rubio, who's a Republican from Florida, a Republican Mike Gallagher, a Republican from Wisconsin, and then we also have another Democrat, Senator Raja Krishnamurti, will ban all transactions from any social media company in or under the influence of China, Russia, and several other foreign countries of concern, according to a press release. Get that right. They would ban all transactions from any social media company in or under the influence of China, Russia, and several other foreign countries of concern, according to a press release. The AntiSocial CCP Act, that's the name of this bipartisan bill, which stands for Averting the National Threat of Internet Surveillance, Oppressive Censorship and Influence, and Algorithmic Learning by the Chinese Communist Party. God damn! Explicitly names ByteDance and TikTok as subject to the restrictions in the bill, unless and until the date of which the president certifies to Congress that the company no longer meets any of the conditions described, such as being subject to substantial influence by a country of concern. It is troubling that rather than encouraging the administration to conclude its national security, so again, data, national security, the concern, some members of Congress have decided to push for a politically motivated ban that will do nothing to advance the national security of the United States. A TikTok spokesperson said, "We will continue to brief members of Congress on the plans that have been developed under the oversight of our country's top national security agencies. Plans that we are all well underway in implementing to further secure our platform in the United States." So that's an article that was published by CNBC. Upon this announcement, I was just checking what other other influencers were here in the US, what they were saying about this. One thing is for sure. TikTok is TikTok is major. TikTok right now is the number one, is the top downloaded social media app. No questions asked. And the thought of the US government banning TikTok, on one hand, it's driving folks crazy that they're gonna lose TikTok. But we have on the other half, which is saying this is a great move to ban TikTok. Especially parents. Like, oh, my kids are on TikTok every time. It's TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. There have been discussions about mental health. There have been discussions about depression. There have been discussions about, I mean, all these negative influences of TikTok upon children. I went on Twitter, and I'm gonna bring that up right now, just for you to have a feeling of how people are reacting to the news of this possible TikTok ban here in the U.S. And here we go. I'm gonna come here. Yeah, here we go. Ban TikTok altogether. We should ban TikTok and start a US version. Rick Rock. Ban TikTok altogether. Ban TikTok completely completely from all of the US. Someone is saying we can do both. TikTok is dangerous in its own way. The information given to China could be disastrous. Then the guy says, the Twitter user says, ban TikTok and automatic weapons. Then another tweet using TikTok. America needs to ban this CCP propaganda machine. Then you got this guy right here. I'm not gonna play the video, of course, because he owns the content. That's his own content. I don't want to play that by live streaming, but someone is actually mentioning Elon Musk. Okay, saying Elon Musk. So now make something like TikTok. So we have something to take its place. Elon Musk right now is the new owner, or he bought Twitter. And by the way, Elon Musk has said that TikTok is dangerous to American civilization. That's something that he has said. He's not a fan of. He's not a fan of Elon Musk. Other very influential public figures, someone like Joe Rogan, the podcaster. Joe Rogan was very, very. Oh man, he was very. How do I put it? His comments about TikTok. What he did is during his podcast, he actually was reading the terms and conditions on TikTok. Has any of the users here, like, because I know y'all got TikTok, have you guys ever spent time to read the terms and conditions of TikTok? Take your time and do that. Just take your time and have a look at that and see what they what they can do with your data. And also from a technical perspective, me being a digital marketer, I can tell you that TikTok algorithm is very, very powerful. And it's a very unique algorithm. It's not like a YouTube algorithm or Facebook algorithm or like an Instagram algorithm. The TikTok algorithm, the way it's set, it's a very, very, very complex but powerful algorithm that can actually, check this out. The TikTok algorithm is so powerful that it can actually predict what you're gonna do next. It can predict which articles you're gonna pull up next, or which videos you're gonna pull up next. I've watched technical folks try to analyze the TikTok algorithm, and trust you me, it's powerful. It's complex, but it's powerful. So what Joe Rogan did, he just pulled up the terms and conditions of from TikTok, and he was reading exactly what they collect and what they can do with your data. It's scary. It's scary. Then a couple of other folks that I was checking on what they was saying about this move of a possible TikTok ban by the U.S. government. Pat from Valuetainment on YouTube, you can just check his channel. Same thing he said. He said, "Hey, this app needs to be banned." And he was actually, and I'm also gonna say something personal about that, because that was a big wake up call for me. So Pat from Valuetainment YouTube channel, he said he decided to test TikTok, and like his account had like 30,000, 40,000 followers. Like that's like the same number of followers I have on TikTok. And mind you, I haven't even touched my TikTok like TikTok for the past 5 months. I'm not even active on TikTok, and I'm gonna come back to that because that was a big wake up call for me. So what happened is, with his 40,000, 30,000 followers on TikTok, his videos, he was getting 100,000 views, 20,000 views, and even some videos had 1 million views. Then he did one video where he was criticizing the Chinese government, and the moment he put that there on TikTok, his metrics went from doing 1 million views to 100,000 views. They went from that, and he got shadow banned. There's a term they use. It's called shadow banning. You know what shadow banning is? Shadow banning is where they don't ban you, but literally they your posts, they move them lower in the feeds. It's a shadow ban. They're not telling you that you have been banned on the platform, but they just shadow ban. So back to Pat of Entertainment. His metrics went down like this. So like videos that were doing 100,000 views and whatever were now getting only 3,000 or 2,000 views. And he's a major influencer, right? Simply because he made a video where he was criticizing the Chinese government. And that's something that TikTok does a lot. Now, let me come back to my story. I was working on a case. People who know here at Vote TV, I'm dealing with cases of human trafficking. I'm fighting agents. Trying to, also rescue victims who are facing oppression in the Middle East. And it happened to me one day. I was having one of my breakfast shows on TikTok. And I mentioned the name human rights. So like in the person, like, yo, we got this victim. We have to fight for her human rights. The moment I said human rights, boom, my live stream was suspended. I was like, what the hell is going on? Instantly, the mention of the word human rights, my live stream was instantly suspended. It's like, that's weird. So you know how it goes. Then you set an appeal, and then the appeal comes back. Whatever. You have to wait for 7 days. I was like, okay, no problem. I go back on TikTok Live after my account, after the 7 days, and then I was having another, because I was doing these breakfast shows like every day. Then I went again. And this time I remember I mentioned the word oppression. The moment I said oppression, boom. My live stream was automatically suspended. Now, to all of you folks out there who are human activists, TikTok is not the platform for you. And trust me, I've had millions of views on my TikTok. account. Millions of views on my TikTok. I embraced the technology, but it's not a place for people who stand up for social justice. I'm gonna tell you that. Then comes the third point, and I want you to listen to this. I was working on the story, the case of Beatrice Fadogoro. Remember, my Kenyan folks out there. So I was working on the Beatrice Fadogoro case. That case drove me crazy. And I'll never forget, I had a conversation with the politician in Kenya, a female. And you know what she told me? We don't care about TikTok. We don't care. Actually, she said, we don't care about what we don't care about what you say on TikTok. I was like, what did you say? I was like, what did you just say? I was like, nah, we don't care about you don't care about what they say on TikTok. And that was the biggest wake-up call for me. So coming back to the example that I was giving you with what Pat from Valuetainment was saying, the moment he went on TikTok and made that one video and he started saying all this stuff about China, they screwed his metrics. He got shadow banned. And that's when he said, you know what, I'm done with this TikTok thing. He still puts video out on TikTok. But one thing I can say out of my own experience, it's not a place for people who stand up for social justice. It's not a place for people who are fighting for human rights. It's the wrong place. It's the wrong place. China is a communist country, and they have issues of human rights. We all know that. So how are they gonna feel comfortable when you're addressing issues of human rights and they know their history? See where I'm coming from? That's when I say no. And by the way, going back to when Trump was president, I knew I was following up on this story. In America, they kept on saying, the lawmakers are like, hey, we have to control all these social media platforms. We have to control. You've seen people like Mark Zuckerberg being called in to testify in the Congress. You've seen all these social media CEOs being called to go and testify in the Congress. They put them on check. So what are you doing with the data? Is the data safe? So even the TikTok USA CEO was also put in the Congress. And there was one question that he could not answer. So they asked him, they say, are you sure that the information they collect on TikTok is not going to land in the hands of Chinese government officials? They asked him that question 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. He couldn't give a straight answer. And then he said, yeah, yes, there are chances that this information will land into the hands of Chinese government officials. I believe that I believe this bill is going to pass very soon. This is going to pass. This bill is going to pass, and mainly because it's a bipartisan bill. The Democrats have agreed on it. The Republicans have agreed on it. This is a bill that has been drafted by members of both parties. And then once the Congress agrees on it, and then it goes to the president, it's going to be passed. So what's going to happen with America without TikTok in the future? And mark my words, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. I know this is going to happen. So what's the future? What's the future of America without TikTok? Got Facebook, got Instagram, got Snapchat, got Twitter. There are so many people running their businesses on TikTok. There are so many people presenting their talent on TikTok. Personally, what I will tell you, if you're here in America and you're either a content creator, a digital creator, an entrepreneur, what I will tell you personally right now is shift your following and energy on other platforms right now. Do that. Someone give a perfect example. Do you guys remember that company? Do you guys remember Vines? Before we had TikToks, before we had the Instagrams, we had Vines. Remember Vines? Those short videos, those 7 seconds video. Vines created superstars overnight. Yeah, what? A lot of superstars on Vine. And then that company went down, and all the celebrities, all the influencers on Vine disappeared overnight. So the same thing is going to happen here with TikTok. So my personal advice is shift your energy from TikTok, go and start, either continue building whatever you're working on other platforms, Metaverse, what is now Facebook, what used to be Facebook, it's Metaverse now. Metaverse, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and of course, YouTube. Of course, YouTube. Shifted energy. That's just my personal opinion. Because you don't want to wake up in the morning and let's say, for example, you have like 100,000 followers on TikTok, and then boom, you wake up and you find that the bipartisan bill has been passed and TikTok is banned in America. And there you are, you're crying like, oh, shoot, all my followers are gone. All my work is gone. All these videos that I put out, they are gone. And all this hard work is gone. And then you start worrying and about what you've lost. And then now you're forced to move onto other platforms and start building from ground zero. See where I'm coming from? So I'll advise you, especially again, for those who are in America, if you're, say, an entrepreneur, if you're running a business on TikTok, if you're an influencer on TikTok, if you're a brand ambassador on TikTok, and whatever. The chances that TikTok would be banned in America is definitely more than 50% right now. The moment they spoke about this yesterday, I was like, wow, this is it. It's heading there. And they've been debating about this since the days when Trump was in the office, since when Trump was president. Trump said, I don't like TikTok. And his major concern was also about the data. Data, national security. Because once you have data, then you have control. It's that simple. Once you have data, you have control. And what the American government is saying is like, hey, let's keep the data within America. We can't trust any other company. You see, even the bill mentions China and Russia. And they're also saying other countries that may be of interest. So of other countries that may be of influence. So I'm sure that they're going to also, add a couple of more countries. Remember, what else? TikTok was banned where? In Indonesia. TikTok was banned where? India. India banned TikTok. TikTok was banned where? Syria. So it's not like America is going to be the first country. It's going to be the first country to ban TikTok. Okay. And maybe if they do that, then you're gonna start seeing once America makes that move, guess what? You're gonna see the same thing happening in Europe. I promise you that. Once they make this move, the EU will just gonna be copy paste. Oh yes, we are worried about our national security. Because everything that US does, Europe follows. It's a fact. It's a simple fact. So that was it for me today for this segment. I just wanted to touch on that. Let me make quick announcement for my Kenyan folks out there. I'm gonna start doing golf workshops here on these platforms. And let me actually do like a quick introduction of my next segment. I'm gonna teach people how they can check if their recruitment agency is registered with NAIR, with the National Employment Association, so our authority. I'm going to start doing workshops here on Vote TV. I made it very clear. I'm here not only to raise awareness, but I'm also here to educate, teach. So, Kadamas, Mkwerada, I'm going to start hosting. I'm going to start doing these workshops here. So, for example, like here, let me show you the page. Like showing you, like, hey, is my agency registered with the National Employment Authority? And why am I doing this? Because I'm still getting so many cases. And when I get these cases, the moment I ask someone, what's the name of your agency? Some don't even know. Oh, by the way, KBM, I see you're here. Thank you for joining me, brother man. Okay. Some don't even know. So I'm gonna start doing these workshops. So that even families in Kenya, before you do anything, the moment you get the name of the agency, come here and see how you can check if your agency is registered. Because and I'm gonna tell you why. Let me show you something. Do you see how many? Do you see how many? We got hundreds and hundreds of agencies in Kenya. This thing is crazy. I mean, these guys, it's new agencies every single day. But I want to show you something here. Out of the 882 agencies in the system, in the data system, look here. Only 618, I think are still in the system. All these other companies, look from here. All these are in red. All this. Their licenses have either been revoked or not renewed. All these ones here. So I'm just making an announcement for you to know. I'm going to start doing golf workshops for Kadamas, golf workshops for people who want to travel. You're going to travel to the Middle East. What you have to pay attention to. Okay? Take notes. Another announcement here on Vote TV. I started revealing how corrupt fake agencies are taking people to Turkey, promising them fake jobs. Over 123 people have reached out to me who want to come here and speak. I hosted Lois, saying Luis, Spanish. I hosted Lois the other day. You saw her story. She used to work for the government in Kenya. She was promised a nursing job in Turkey, where she's gonna go and make 150,000 Kenya shillings a month. She got there, nothing. And she just ended up doing a regular factory job, working as a nanny, all these dirty jobs, where she's only making 28,000 Kenya shillings. And she has to pay her rent, has to pay for her transport. I'm bringing another lady, she's a mother. She used to work as a nurse in Kenya. A mother. Left Kenya late last year, traveled to Turkey. Same promise. Was being promised 150,000 Kenya shillings a month. Got to Turkey and life just became a nightmare. Oh, by the way, and that is after paying 400,000 Kenya shillings commission. Something like Lois. Same story. And by the way, same agent. The same person, Lydia Kagali. Folks, thank you for tuning in. We're here at Vote TV. Keep on watching the channel. Live stream 24 hours, 7 days a week. I'm doing a recap of the top stories that I covered here on Vote TV. This year in 2022, I'm doing a 2022 recap, the top stories that I had here. It's a lot that I've covered. It's a lot that I've done. Okay? So have a good night. Have a good day, wherever you are. Bye-bye.